Sometimes even when missing persons cases are solved, there are questions that remain unanswered. In the case of North Carolina's Asha Degree, what happened may possibly come to light soon, but some of the whys may remain a mystery. Psychic insight is likely our best chance to understand what set everything in motion. What we do know is that on February 14th, Valentine's Day of 2000, 9-year-old Asha went missing. At 5:45 that morning, her mother Aquila got up to make sure the kids had a bath before school. There had been a power outage due to a motorcycle accident the night before, and they had postponed it until morning. Her son O'Brien was there in the room the kids shared, but Asha was not. She was nowhere to be found. When they realized Asha's set of house keys were gone, they phoned her grandmother, who lived just down the road, but she hadn't seen Asha either. The family searched the neighborhood with no luck, and after about an hour called police, who showed up quickly only about 6 minutes later. Teams and search dogs were brought in. By 2 p.m., the house was fully taped off by investigators, who found no sign of forced entry or foul play. Asha's dad Harold had checked on the kids about 2:30 a.m., and everything had been fine. But sometime later, Brother O'Brien had remembered waking and hearing what he thought was his sister getting out of bed to go to the bathroom, but he wasn't sure he had heard her return. Asha's mom quickly took stock of what was missing: Asha's clothes, candy, her house keys, and a book bag. 2 truck drivers came forward to report having seen a young girl walking along Highway 18 about 3:30 a.m., despite the heavy rain. She had been spotted about a mile from the Degree home. The second driver was a retired sheriff's deputy who saw her around 4:15. He had circled back to check on her, but Asha had run off the road into the woods. A search got underway in that area, but the extreme weather interfered with any scent the bloodhounds might have followed. The following day, a family about a mile south of the Degree home found candy wrappers, a pencil, and a marker in their open barn. There was also a small photo left behind of a young girl who looked similar to Asha. The candy wrappers were identified as treats given out at Asha's basketball game the day before she disappeared. But no one recognized the photo. After a few more days, the search was called off. A billboard was erected of Asha at the location where she had run off into the woods. In 2008, the Degree family started an annual walk to raise funds and awareness for Asha's case. The walk started at their home and ended at Asha's billboard. In August of 2001, a contractor using a tractor unearthed something wrapped in double black plastic trash bags. It was a book bag with a name and address. His wife recognized Asha's name and called police. All the contents of the bag were kept undisclosed, but police did reveal that 95% of the belongings were Asha's. Another search was launched, but bad weather prevented any success. In May of 2016, investigators announced they were looking for a dark green, early 1970s Lincoln Continental, or possibly a Ford Thunderbolt, from the same era. It was believed Asha may have gotten into it. The car was described as having rust on its wheel wells. Detectives revealed in 2018 that they were focusing on 2 items from the book bag: a children's book by Dr. Seuss that had come from the school library in early 2000, and a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt. Both items were considered clues. Finally, in 2024, a search warrant was executed by the authorities based on physical evidence. Several items were seized, including a green 1964 AMC Rambler. Police believed Asha was a homicide victim and her body had been concealed. A hair sample found on the backpack had led them to suspects. 3 more warrants were executed in 2025 that seized cell phones from a local man named Roy Dedman and 2 of his daughters. Several properties they owned were also searched. The Dedmans deny involvement, but police say DNA links them to the homicide and is a match to one of the Dedman daughters, as well as an elderly man who lived on one of their properties. But no official charges have yet been brought against them. What happened to Asha remains a mystery. Her parents still hold out hope.
Hi, welcome to True Crime Psychic Eye, a unique true crime show where we look to balance logic and facts with intuition. That was an incredible story, Harlow, and very sad. So I'm trying to bring myself back from that.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Miriam. I'm a psychic medium and a teacher of spirituality. Harlow, a writer and artist. She picks the cases, produces researches, and creates the videos. You can find her books available on Amazon at Harlow Dane. Denise, a psychic medium, life doula, and Reiki healer who helps women align with their inner wisdom to become their own maven. Myself and Denise do not follow or read up on true crime specifically, so we can come in as clear as possible. Of course, many cases are very high profile. So if we have read or heard anything about this case or that case in particular, we will make sure to share it at the top of the show. This is a new case for us. Please join us over on Patreon at Miriam Farish. Let me do this for you guys. Where we have exclusive content and cases. Due to the diversity of our work, you will notice multiple tiers over on Patreon that you can choose from. So if you're a paranormal enthusiast or a true crime enthusiast or like to learn about spirituality, we have all of that available separately or together. Tonight, we will have our live show wrap up discussion, which will happen solely on Patreon immediately following this episode. So we also offer a 7-day free trial. You are welcome to come on over and join us there. Before we get started, we want to share a true crime psychic eye update. There's going to be a couple of changes. Harlow is no longer going to be picking and researching our Thursday night cases. She will be focusing her talents on Behind the Hauntings, her personal writings and art, but she's still going to be around. You're going to see her helping with some of the smaller cases with marketing on TikTok. So you're still going to hear her, see her, and she's still obviously going to be a part of the True Crime Psychic Eye family. We are going to be, we'll be here with Harlow through March, and then we'll start to phase out into sort of a different type of reading and fact, what would be the word? Fact finding. There you go. That was a tough one. It literally rhymed and started with the same letter, and I still couldn't find it. All right. Denise and I will be live this Monday for a unique exploration into the Gabby Petito case. What was missed and why? Gabby's case, of course, has been investigated backwards and forwards from all kinds of psychics. Denise and I have yet to do this case, and we will be reading it for the first time, focusing on what we feel may have been overlooked. We're also going to touch on more of a behavioral perspective on why this happens, how we can prevent it happening for ourselves or loved ones in our own personal lives, and just really encouraging you all to bring your questions and to bring your feelings and your concerns and what you want to learn and what you want to know about the experience. So tonight's case, as you all saw, on February 14th of 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree walked out of her home between 3 and 4 a.m. with her backpack and was never seen again. Her backpack was later found, concealed, and buried several miles away, but Asha was never found. We like to highlight once a month. We do 2 cases a month, and so once a month we like to highlight cases of persons of color, since those are underrepresented and need to get the word out, the story out, to see if there's more of us that can help and help bring some answers to the family. How are you girls doing?
Doing well. It's nice and cool and sunny here because it's been, I call it baby summer last week.
Baby summer. You're in Arizona and it's raining. We're in California and you're in Arizona and it's sunny. We're in California and it's raining.
Yep.
So there's that. Hold on. Let's see. Have you seen the photo of her family and she appears in, Gabby, that is. No, but if you want to DM me or send it to me, let's talk about it Monday night for sure. Great respect for you 3 ladies. That's very sweet. Thank you very much. Hi, Benno. Hi, Patricia. Hi, everybody. So, like, I feel like I'm sort of putting off doing this because it's so painful. But let's jump
Because she's so
in.
young.
Yeah. And it was just sort of odd. It's obviously the whole thing's sort of odd. It's very strange.
It is. I wanted to do this one for a long time, and I didn't because the DNA evidence had come up and it looked like there was going to be an arrest made and it was going to be taken care of. Everything would be figured out, but that's yet to happen. So it just seemed like a good case for you guys to look into.
Okay, one sec.
I am mildly perplexed why the sheriff who potentially saw her, why he didn't stop when he saw a young girl walking down the highway by herself.
He turned around and was trying to help her, and she ran into the woods.
Oh, okay.
Because he did see her and he was concerned. So he turned around to come back and ask, and then she took off.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay, that
also,
is my
but also,
misunderstanding.
but also, don't you feel like get out of your car and follow her? Call a helicopter?
And it was raining.
So our cops don't get wet? I mean,
I know, but I mean, exactly. But to your point, that's what I was agreeing with you. It's it was very unusual to see a 9-year-old out in the rain like that at 3 or 4 in the morning.
I wonder if maybe he didn't trust himself. Maybe he's like, I don't think I saw what I thought I saw until like maybe he thought he was hallucinating, and when the next morning when it happened, he was like, I mean, but either way, I sort of feel like, I don't know why I'm sticking up for him right now. I feel like he should have got his ass out of his car and chased the girl down until he was
didn't there. For sure.
Yeah. Okay, so give me a second.
And I do get where you're coming from, in regards to like sometimes you're driving. Did I just see what I thought I saw? And
sure. Okay, you guys, hold on. Let me close this door because I want to get
distracted by puppies.
Yeah, and as cute as they are. Now's not the time, folks. Okay, so let's do this. I got pictures on my phone for anyone that's new. Welcome. By the way, we saw that we have about 256 new members, so subscribers. We'd like to say thank you and welcome. And I've got pictures here. That's what I'm looking at. And Denise has her cards. She's going to be working those. So just give me a second.
To me, the bigger mystery, I mean, it's a mystery as to what happened to her, though that may come to light soon. And the mystery is why. Why did she leave home? Why did she pack a bag? She packed clothes in a bag. She clearly was planning on not coming back right away and left so her mom and rest of her family wouldn't find out at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning.
She didn't leave she didn't do this on her own. She was told to pack her stuff. She was abducted by someone they know. Did you say she shared a room with the brother?
Yeah.
I keep seeing like someone at the window. So why did the brother not wake up? Hold on, let me see.
He actually said that he heard her kind of shift in bed and he thought she got up maybe to go to the bathroom, but he couldn't even remember if he heard her come back to bed or not. He was, kind of half asleep.
She didn't do this on her own. She was coerced. She didn't want to do it. There was resistance. She was scared. She couldn't scream. She wanted to. This was someone she knew, so there was confusion as to what was happening and why. So she wasn't like, it wasn't like cut and dry, like do this or do that. Like it wasn't cut and dry, meaning like this is a stranger danger type thing. This was like, I'm confused. This is someone I know. And there was also this confusion of why her brother wasn't acknowledging what was happening. That he was not at fault. This was not his fault. But she's asking all these questions. All these questions are going on with her. So there's this confusion. And if anyone's ever been in that space of trauma and fear, like absolute fear beyond like a normal state of fear, you do strange things. You're a child also, so you aren't thinking clearly. Someone, I don't know who, keeps bringing me to the street when she was walking on the street by herself. She was not by herself. She was not by herself. She was with somebody. It's a man. This is a man. This is a white man. And she was not alone. It looked like she was by herself, but she wasn't. She got out. She is actually escaped for a moment. She got away. Fuck, man, had that cop done something. I know things are divinely in order, even in the most horrific times, but man, had he done something, this would look very different. Go ahead, Denise.
Yeah, he was at the window. He somehow or another, he convinced her. I see that he was a friend of the family. I can see him outside the window. When you were talking about the brother, the first card that came up was, whoa, where'd I go? The compassion card. And it is about having compassion for the brother, and forgiveness and understanding are the cards that came out for the brother, because he was terrified and he almost thought he was dreaming, like it didn't really happen. And he did fall back to sleep, and he did think she came back in. He didn't realize that she didn't come back in until their mom came in to wake them up. There is a romantic connection with this person that took her or got her to go, and somebody else in the family. Like I feel like he was an outsider, that he was different. And he was fairly new to the family, not married to anyone yet, but newer. And children are always encouraged to just trust adults because they're adults. But she never felt comfortable around this person, and that's why she didn't want to go. But she also didn't want to cause a scene. I think when she got away from him, I think she was trying to get to her grandmother. I feel she was trying to get to her grandmother, but then he scooped her up again before she could get that far. And sadly, to your point, Miriam, had he turned right then and there and not gone down and then turned around, like, if he had just turned on his lights and turned around, I think things would have ended up differently also. And again, we have to trust divine timing, and that this was the path for the soul.
It's hard to tell if she's still alive, because if she was, she would have reached out. But I'm not communicating with her. I'm being shown images, but I'm not communicating with her.
Yeah, because at this point, she was 9, and it's been 20 years, she'd be over 30.
35 around, yeah.
Yeah, so just based on that, I would venture to say she's not alive, only because of the time frame. I think if she was still alive at this point, she would have come forward, because she's a full adult now, not even, you know, like a young adult.
Well, and what I find interesting is as we've been working over time, we've sort of come to, I think Denise, you sort of started this with like, you know, you look at the connection between the child and the family, and you see that it's a very close knit connection. And so if you're not sure if they're alive or not, you can tell because if they were alive, they would have reached out. They would have found a way to reach out because there wasn't a disturbance in the family. And that child would have wanted to be reunited with the family.
Yes.
So Megan has a question.
Mm-hmm.
Was that man Roy Deadman? You have a picture of him and his family in there.
And he was, to kind of stay on the same lines as Denise, is this a family friend?
No.
This is a neighbor or something?
This is a man they connected through DNA. He and his family, his daughters.
And did he commit crimes before?
Not to my knowledge.
Who's the person that you can't see in the photo that's laying on their laps?
I don't know.
Why? What are you getting?
It was him.
You think it's him?
Mm-hmm.
The person you can't see?
Yeah.
Yeah, the person you can't see.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's the only picture I could find of them.
It's that the Roy and Connie Deadman and daughters. So that's got to be a female laying across.
Yeah, he's got 2 or 3 daughters. 3 daughters.
Well,
No, that's not a girl. That's a nephew, a boyfriend, something.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know then. There was
And then
family.
Did they have any connection to them? Because initially you felt like this was someone who knew the family.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys didn't technically know the family.
Not
Rory
that
and
I'm
Connie.
aware of.
When you said romantic connection to the family, Denise, I felt like I have to ask, like, did you were describing romantic, but did you maybe mean like pedophile type behavior? Or did you feel like they were marrying someone?
Get back. I felt like this person was dating somebody.
Okay, gotcha.
And it was, I'm not saying that the individual that took her didn't have those tendencies, but that was not known.
Gotcha.
You know, this was just this, I really feel like this was just this person, like, friend. There were little, sometimes it just doesn't come in fast enough, and then I can't, you know, I can't understand it, but it's like, I don't know if it was a coworker or, you know what I mean? It's because wasn't it the parents' anniversary and it was Valentine's Day, and you know what I mean? I just think there was a little bit of a celebration or something.
And Megan's asking, she thought they were neighbors. Not to my knowledge, the Deadmans had several different properties and they ended up all being searched, but I never heard that they were actually neighbors. They probably didn't. One of their properties may well have been fairly close, but I don't think directly. And was this man connected to the basketball team? Spiritual Bombshell is asking.
So we'll come back to that question. Hold that question real quick. Let me, for my sake, because I get facts very confused. So the Deadmans why did they even search? Like, why did they come into this storyline?
Because hair and DNA was found on that backpack that was unearthed, and it led to the Deadmans.
And they have no history of any crime or any.
Not that it came up when I searched.
Okay. And did they eventually clear them?
No.
No.
We were expecting an arrest because they have DNA that links one of those people in the family, and they were hinting that it's one of the girls, one of his daughters. Go ahead.
So I think this is where we're going to intuitively and logically tie this together maybe. So let me know with Spiritual Bombshell's question of was he connected to the basketball team? I think the guy that we can't see I think he was the boyfriend of one of the girls. I think something happened and the Deadmans covered it up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like that's right along the lines. When they confiscated the phones from the Deadmans, some of the texts kind of hinted of guilt, and the authorities believe Asha was killed and then her body hidden.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But now the dad, Roy, I think he helped cover it up, which is why his DNA was found on the backpack and stuff. I still think to this day he's protecting his daughter.
Yeah.
At the expense of someone else not being able to have closure with their own.
Yeah.
So the house here, this one.
Which one? Yeah, they searched several of their properties.
Yeah. She's on that property.
On that one? Does it say which one that is in that picture? I can't remember if I labeled them specifically.
You labeled him Deadman Properties, but not like
which one it is. That's the red house.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. She's there.
There's like a floorboard that they in the house they like pulled up instead, not like a cellar, but like something they did, and they buried her, and then sorry, that's gross, but they covered her up like she's under the house, but not on. I'm not. I think I just took us.
She's under the house, but she's in the ground.
Yes.
She's not it. Yeah. Yeah.
She's not in the ground outside the house. She's it's like they pulled up part of the wood floor. I don't know why. They pulled up part of the wood floor, buried her, and then put the floors back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They just need to get a search warrant for that house because they'll find her in there.
They've searched those properties. I don't know if they took dogs into them or not. One would think, but that's not necessarily always the case.
You want to hear something crazy? They put garlic. They buried garlic with her to detract. I've never even heard that. Nothing but that's what I'm being told. They buried her with garlic to detract the scent. I don't even know if that's possible. I don't know anything about.
Well, it's possible for sure.
Sniffer dogs. I don't know if that's enough to detract a dog.
Right.
But that's what I'm being told.
Like Gacy.
What's Gacy?
John Wayne Gacy. He's a serial killer who hid bodies underneath his house in the crawl space.
Lovely. Mm-hmm. I don't know who's talking to me. It's not her. And I want to know who. So hold on. She has a grandmother or an aunt. I think it's grandma I'm talking to.
Got some more questions too. So
sorry, Miriam.
Grandmother. Yeah. And she's the one that's directing the pictures of, because she's showing me pictures, like a timeline of it, but she's not connecting. There was deep racism, and a lot that was this was stemming from the Deadmans were deeply racist and were vengeful for some reason. So whoever did this, and so there was some sort of conflict. And I'm not getting clarity if the conflict was literally with this family or just with another family of color. And the Deadmans did that whole, well, everyone's like this then. And the grandmother greeted Asha. Is it Asha or Asha?
Asha.
Asha. The grandmother greeted Asha. So did the grandmother pass first? Because I feel like Asha was alive for a while. I don't feel like she passed. I feel like she was alive for a while. What is that card?
Holy love.
They're together, but even now, grandma is sheltering Asha from this conversation. Grandmother's name, do we know it?
No, I don't.
Elaine or Lane, or it's something with like a Ella something. It feels like, and she's sheltering Asha, but she's also like, she's obviously passed all the way over, but she's not going anywhere until this is resolved. So the recommendation is this. Denise and I were able to locate the body. They've done something to affect the body so dogs can't sniff it out or will have trouble sniffing it out. And there's something about the son, the brother. I feel like the brother may have a little girl, a child of his own, which obviously may not be shocking, but there's a connection that, like, just like the grandmother's speaking to his children, or he doesn't have one and needs to and is scared to, and there's fear obviously after what he's experienced, and it's held him back and prevented him from living a full life and feeling like he can have his own family, and she wants him to be able to have his own family and live a full life. She's like this. It's interesting with Asha. But she's saying she can direct us or whomever there.
Okay. I'll have to find out exactly the address of that property.
Do we know if the brother is reachable?
He is on social media.
He does feel very responsible for not protecting his sister. And there was also nothing he could have done. Not really. He was a little boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure that guilt never, goes away. Even though he doesn't deserve to live with it, but
no, not at all. And because it was nothing of his doing, because
yeah. Can I say this, Denise? What do you feel about this? That when you were picking up on, you were saying relation, connection, somebody, do you? I'm correct. Sorry if you already said this, but I'm just getting this now. That relationship you were feeling was a newcomer to the Desmond family, and that did this. And that's where it was a boyfriend or something to one of the girls, and that's where because I don't see a kid. Like, I look at the Desmond family and I'm like, no. It's the out. I see now what you're feeling. It's that outsider. Yeah.
That outsider that this person came in, very charismatic, very showmanship, very, and, I guess, in today's terms, because this wasn't so big back then, but very narcissistic behavior. Like, I'm the center of attention. I'm funny, endearing himself to, the whole family, the mom, the dad, getting everybody to like him, that kind of thing.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a feel for which sister he was dating? The younger one, the older one? I can't remember all their names offhand. I did know at one point.
And Denise, did you get anything from the grandmother? You felt her to right away?
In this photograph, I feel like it's the middle sister.
I was just going to say the middle.
It's always the middle.
Yeah.
I'm
with the grandmother, I feel like the grandmother's still a little, shall we say, feisty.
Mm-hmm.
And she's at peace with what happened to her, but she is like, oh, I am going to protect my babies, and none of you fools are going to get anywhere near her. It's bad enough somebody got to her before I could protect her. You whatever are not coming anywhere near this child. So she's doing what she can on the other side to protect her, even though Asha is safe.
Mm-hmm.
But she is, until
this is done.
Till this is done, she's like, I got my baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Spiritual bombshell. I saw that too. There's something to distract the dogs. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
This is funny.
Daisy fire flowers should, the middle. Yeah, the middle one.
Hey, I'm a middle. Easy.
That figures.
I'm the oldest, so
same.
All right, stop bragging.
Fire flower, can she be alive? I highly doubt it.
Well, we both saw the. Who are you looking for, Bruce? There's fish.
For him too?
Yeah, for everybody.
Okay, Sammy?
Yeah, sorry. Bruce is feeding the dogs tonight, so it's a whole thing. I wanted to say that could she be alive, Daisy? We were saying that we when it's hard to tell if someone is alive or not for us, we've sort of been able to say, okay, the connection that the child had with the family was so tight, she definitely would have reached out if she was alive.
Yeah.
And so that tells us right away she's not. But also we're both seeing grandmother do this. So the child's with the grandmother. Yeah.
And I see that she was alive for a little while, but not years. Like, she was still young.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
So the daughters are Lizzie, Sarah, and Anna Lee. The middle one is Sarah. She's the one who was gifted that green car by her father.
Did you guys see this? Do you have a picture of Russell Underhill? He was dating one of the daughters.
Russell Underhill was someone that lived on their property. He was an older man in pretty bad shape.
He lived on the Desmond's property or the...
Yeah, as I understand it, he lived on their property. I never heard him dating one of the daughters.
What wrappers? What is she referencing?
That's the candy wrappers that were found.
Oh.
First, yeah, it was like the next, later in the afternoon. And they found the wrappers and like a pencil and some things from her book bag in a barn not too far away. That's
right. I feel like the person who took her told her that she was not with her real family, and if she came with him, he would take her to a real family. Yeah, I could feel that too, Violet.
Yeah, there's nothing to indicate she was unhappy at home or any reason like that for her to run away.
She definitely didn't run away.
No, she didn't.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
Yeah, it was searched in like 2024, 25. So might have been long enough by now.
Well, and depending on if they were just outside in the perimeter of the house versus inside, I don't know. I'm not a, police officer, so I don't know how the investigations work, especially all of these years later.
Well, those searches were done just within a year. It was like 2024 and 25. They confiscated the car and the phones and all that. So I would imagine they searched the house.
But it also, when I was told, I heard garlic really clear, but it, maybe it's it's just something like that, something that smells really, really strong too.
And who knows if they have added to it over the years.
And not to, the whole reason why we do cases specifically for those people of color is because the history is that the time and effort isn't put into their case, like with little white girls. And with that being said, was sufficient investigating done? Has the time been put into this case still yet to even help? And I don't know. I'm asking the question, and maybe it hasn't been, which is why after all this time.
Yeah, it went cold for a long time and not much was done until just the last couple of years. After the book bag was found, they worked on some items, those 2 items they found from the book bag that weren't Asha's, and were trying to track down things from there. And then they got the DNA from the bag, but nothing was done again until 2024.
Okay, so if we can track down the brother, if he's on social media, we can reach out to the brother, ask him to watch this, and if he's interested or believes, we will always continue to help, no charge, whatever we can do. And I would love for him to hear the message from his grandmother about having his own family and feeling like he deserves to live a life with love. And it's strange to think someone could coerce someone from their room. And it just doesn't feel like this was the first time they've ever done that. This person has done this before. And this person continues to get away with it because this person has an alibi, but it's not, it's because this person has done this before. This person has never unalived someone before, but this person has taken children before. And this is not a first time. Like this is like, I can feel as I'm watching him do this, you can tell he's done this many times. To be able to get into someone's home, I mean, he never came into the home. He was outside, but he was to coerce to that degree. This is someone who's done this before a lot, but he's never unalived him. And why did he do that this time? She fought. She fought. She was not passive. And his victims are typically passive. Mm-hmm. And she was not.
Good point. There was a picture, a photo of another little girl, also of color, found in the shed with some of Asha's things. I think they later determined it was a friend of hers that the family didn't know about. So there may be a connection with that person that took her. because they found like pencil and a marker and some candy wrappers and the photo. None of the family recognized the little girl in the photo. But I think much later it was determined it was a friend of Aisha's that just the family didn't know about.
So interesting. Okay. So why was she unalived? She fought back. That's all I keep hearing is she was a fighter. And this person was a predator. And so was behaving like a predator. And she was not passive in this situation. I don't know if she was in, the rest of her life prior, but she was not passive in this situation. Mm-hmm. And she tried to escape multiple times. I keep seeing there was trauma to the neck.
Well, you've pretty much covered all the questions that I had written down. If anybody else has any.
I feel like with the trauma to the neck, she was either pushed like across the room or shaken or like killing her was accidental. Unaliving her was accidental.
Okay.
The hurting her was intentional. Like you shush, be quiet, get away, whatever was going on in that scuffle. But there was something, the way she hit her head, broke her neck.
I'm seeing this, and I keep seeing this. I keep seeing her do this. From behind. But yeah, it was like blunt force. It wasn't like an object, like a knife or something. It was like, It was from abuse.
Mm-hmm.
Where did he take her that they couldn't find her?
Yeah, I mean, was she just put in one spot or was she maybe moved around? What was the sequence of events there?
I'm feeling 6 months, a year. Like you said, Denise, it was like, it was not long, right? It was one location though. I don't feel her being moved around. She would have been spotted and he knew that. He knew she would have been spotted. And important, he's a predator. He's not a kidnapper. So why did he kidnap and not return? Why didn't he return her like he's done before? He's scared. He got scared. Something was different about this time, and it didn't follow his playbook.
Because she wasn't passive. Everybody else was timid. Everybody else was passive. I keep also feeling, and like this was a household conversation for like by the parents, not like, but stranger danger, do this if somebody bothers you, you know what I mean? Like a standard conversation of, if you get approached, if you feel unsafe, this is what you do. You yell, you scream, you punch, you fight. You know what I mean? I feel like that was like a safety conversation that the family had. Yeah.
Yeah, because they raised those kids to be very aware and self-aware.
Yes. Yes.
Good for her, man. She fought a good fight, man.
And that's also why the brother still also has some guilt, because he feels like he should have been more aware. Because it's almost like he's saying, my parents told me this all the time, be aware, pay attention, be aware, pay attention. And he's like, how did I miss this kind of thing? And
there's no way he could have done this could not have been prevented. He never could have prevented this. This is when we talk about
the brother.
Right. The divine timing exists in the most horrific times and also in the most beautiful times. Divine timing exists in both realms in both ways. It's hard for us to accept and understand that divine timing is a thing in horrifying situations. But when we understand the soul has its own path, its own journey, but that path and journey melds into its family and its external family, friends, co-workers, what have you. But the soul still has its own path and what it is came to do and what it is supposed to do. And this is something this is where we learn how to trust, or we have faith. We have faith in whatever faith or religion we believe in. We have faith and trust in God, the universe, whomever you want to refer to it as, that this was part of our soul's development. Our soul is only here to grow. Our soul's sole purpose is to learn. That's why the soul comes into a body, whatever body it comes into, animal, plant, alien, human, it comes in to learn. That's its sole purpose. Our society is caught up in being productive and making money and all that BS. But when you put all that to the side, the soul came in to learn. This child came in, just like all of us did, came in to learn. I think why this captivates us, why, for me at least, why this grabs me and affects me is because this is a child who was tough and smart and aware. And there was just enough coercion to throw her off, which reminds us that this was inevitable. I want to share a really horrible story. It's short, but it is a example of how when it is time, it is time. There was a plane crash up in the Bay Area, and I knew about it because I lived in the Bay Area. And the plane did a crash landing, and everyone survived. They do the emergency exit. People all get off. And they had sprayed that stuff on the tarmac, that like white stuff. And somehow one of the passengers got caught up in that. And the plane rolled over this passenger. And I'm telling this story not to horrify everyone, but it stuck with me for years because this is a plane that should have crashed. From all, the experts were saying, how did they land this plane? How did these people survive? But one person, their soul was finished. And so that had to play out somehow. And that story has sat with me because it is one of those examples of like they were so close, but when you understand, and I'm not saying I get it through and through and, I get it. It makes sense. It doesn't bother me. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when we can articulate our faith, again, it doesn't matter what religion or spirituality is, but when you can articulate that faith of trusting, even in the most horrific of times, it brings some, it doesn't take the pain away, but it brings some sense of, I can live with that, I guess. And I say that because I feel that with this case. This is someone who was fighting and was not going to go down without a fight. And even when people around her weren't helping, like, frick, that cop should have got out and dug deeper. He should have done his job and gone out and dug deeper. And it's like I feel like I'm channeling mom or grandma right now, because had he done that, we wouldn't be here. Yet, if her soul was inevitably ready and prepared and planning on going, it doesn't matter if he got out and searched.
Yeah.
We still would be here today.
Yep.
I'm telling myself this because I'm feeling so much around this case. I'm feeling so much for the family and the child, and I'm just trying to make sense for me. Everyone's like, it's been 20 years, but for me, it feels like it's new. And grandma is right here. You know, grandma's like, I'm ready when you guys are ready to unveil this, not us, but the family or whomever. I'm ready. I'm going to help you. I'm going to show you. And when you feel all these beings aligned, waiting for the moment, it's hard to not express that and feel that. What's that?
The Mother, Father, God card. So it's the circle of life and everything coming together and working together.
Oh, wow. Whew, that card's beautiful too.
You know, Mother Earth, Father God, the Son, Father, Son, you know what I mean? It's just bad today.
That's good timing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just, the universe needs to work with the human parents, and there'll be a resolution, and grandma can allow Asha to come forward and start to then, you know, leave signs for her parents, because she will. But right now, grandma she's doing her job.
All right. Anything else we got? I'm glad she's with her grandma too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, she quietly left her on her own, but then when she came, she realized she was not in her house anymore, and this man was there. Then she fought.
There's Megan has a comment further up. Her leaving the house when brother was right there. Could she have been sleepwalking?
I feel someone at her window. I feel someone clearly outside the room.
They think she had actually packed the backpack earlier because she had so much stuff in it. They don't think she had time to do it right in that moment, and it was already ready to go.
Yeah,
well,
but
it's so hard because I've had kids, they pack the weirdest shit in their backpacks. I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't have anything to do with it, but I mean, I can remember I've looked at my kids' backpacks and I'm like, what is this? And why do you have this in there? You know,
she had a weird assortment of clothes and
you know,
and candy.
Yeah, like and it had been Valentine's Day, so that's where, you know, that could explain the candy, you know.
Well, they had that basketball game and the candy had been given out by the coaches.
Oh, got it. Okay.
She had been in she played basketball. She was in a game the day before.
Oh. Somehow I missed that part.
Well,
I feel coercion by a white man who feels like sort of a roundish face, not heavy set, but not like built, and 35 at the time was 35, 40, maybe, thinning hair. Am I describing this guy? I feel like I'm describing Roy Deadman. But anyway, we can get, if we have, someone that can help with, more photos or more information, we can get more specific.
There were 5 properties of the Deadman searched, and I know the addresses of them, so I'll go take a look and figure out which one that is exactly. So,
Okay, good.
All right. So for those on Patreon, we will be jumping over in just a minute to continue a little more of this conversation and a little deeper dive into some of the other areas and our thoughts, feelings, intuition. And then we'll be back. Denise and I will be back Monday. Gabby Petito, we're going to dive into human behavior, but also some of the things that may have been missed. It's a new case for us to explore. And we will be back then in 2 weeks. March cases. For those in Patreon, we gave you guys, we uploaded the March cases so you can submit any questions. For those not on Patreon, you'll know in about a week or so.
I think we have 1 or 2 questions already for the next one. Yeah.
All right.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thank you guys very much for spending time with us. We'll see some of you in just a few. Otherwise, we'll see the rest of you on Monday.